I'm pleased to announce today the settlement of the state of Mississippi's action against Morgan Keegan and Company and the head of their bond fund. After almost 3 years of investigation led by the Secretary of State's office in Mississippi, several states, 5 total states and us, are announcing a settlement with Morgan Keegan. The amount of that settlement will be $200 million, which will be paid to the investors. $10 million will be paid in penalties to the states that were involved. In addition, Morgan Keegan will pay $1.3 million to the state of Mississippi to cover all expenses and fees incurred by the state during this 3-year investigation. This is the largest settlement that we're aware of in the state of Mississippi on similar matters. The settlement particularly does not affect any ongoing actions by investors against Morgan Keegan or any of these individuals. Those can proceed. This is a settlement only for the state of Mississippi and the other 4 states who joined us in action against Morgan Keegan. In addition, we were joined by the Securities and Exchange Commission and FINRA, the regulatory body for all individual investor agents. The state, I want to emphasize to you today that the state of Mississippi found no involvement by any Mississippian employed by Morgan Keegan in any of these affairs. In addition to Morgan Keegan, James Kelso, who was head of their bond funds, was fined $50,000 by the state of Mississippi as restitution. He agreed to the revocation of his existing license, his registration, and accepted a permanent bar from involvement in the securities agencies. In addition to Mr. Kelso, there remains 3 individual brokers who are set for administrative hearing by the state of Mississippi on August the 5th. Those hearings will proceed. This settlement only involves Morgan Keegan, Morgan Asset Management, and this particular individual, James Kelso. In addition to the monetary fines that will be imposed on Morgan Keegan, they have agreed that they will not offer these type of proprietary funds for the next 2 years. In addition, we will have additional audits that will be conducted by the state of Mississippi and the other states involved. If they form or sell any proprietary investment, the firm will need to provide an independent audit for all of their work. In addition, all Morgan Keegan investment managers will have to undergo for the next 3 years comprehensive review of the goods and services that are recommended by them to the individual investors. This was a long and lengthy process. There are almost 40,000 accounts across the United States. I am proud of the Mississippi Securities Division, your Secretary of State's office. They did a great job. There are over 2,000 Mississippians' accounts involved in this action. This was, to our knowledge, the first comprehensive engagement between the Securities and Exchange Commission, FINRA, and state regulatory offices to jointly investigate someone. As you remember, it was in April, only a year ago, down the hall, that we jointly held our first press conference announcing our engagement against Morgan Keegan. It now has been completed in regards to that company. These types of settlements, I hope, are indicative to people that you must provide correct and adequate information in your marketing materials and what you tell your investors when you take their money. We at the Secretary of State's office are in charge of ensuring that, and most of our individual brokers and the others operate as they should according to state law. When they do not, we intend to pursue it. And today's settlement of $200 million hopefully will indicate how important we think that is. We'll stop and answer any questions you may have about the amount, what we're doing, and where we're doing. This is part of a joint announcement that is being made in Atlanta, Georgia by the SEC and in Washington by FINRA and the other states involved. The states involved were Alabama, Kentucky, and South Carolina in the first wave when we began the investigation. The investigation started by a complaint to the state of Mississippi.